And we're back for our final segment of Nye County. Tom Gibson, Chuck Augustine, and we're here taking calls. Oh, we got Louis on the line.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say we have had a dearth of phone calls tonight, and now they're coming in. Okay, Louis, what do you have to say?
Good evening, gentlemen. I just want to tell you that I was at that commissioner meeting today, and I will tell you this. I've been in this town for 15 years. I have never seen so many upset residents about the corruption and the collusion and the way our politicians target people that aren't part of their clique. I mean, it was incredible. And it seems strange to me now that all of a sudden, when all of this takes place, that there's no video so nobody can see it. Gee, we had a problem today, okay? Well, I'll tell you another thing. I actually got up and spoke, but I didn't speak about the Hoff incident. I spoke about things that go on over here where you have two sets of rules, and I actually pointed out about the planning department, the zoning department, and everything, and several of our commissioners said that they were going to look into it. But this is so blatant, what goes on out here where there's two sets of rules. I've seen it with the sheriff's department, with the legal system, with the, you can have a drug dealer who's got the proper connections, and this guy, he becomes a confidential informant. He don't go to jail, nothing happens to him, and somebody else who don't know anybody or has any connections, he gets railroaded. So that's basically my comment, that it depends on what team you're on in this town, in this county. If you're on the right team, you could do whatever you want and get away with it. And I'll tell you another thing. Anybody who believes that there was a glitch, on the video thing for today's meeting, so it can't be shown, you must still believe in a tooth fairy. This was done on purpose so nobody could see what went on if you weren't there. That simple. But I'll let you guys go. I just wanted to, explain what I saw and how I feel about what's going on here. Okay, gentlemen, I just want to tell you, both of you have a great show.
Hey, Louis, before you go, how many people were there?
It was packed. There was a lot of people, and I also saw two deputies and the sheriff there, too.
Wow.
So, yeah, there were two deputies, and they were standing there watching everything, and Sheriff Worley was there, too. So, I mean, I'm not sure if they were watching me or everybody.
If they were smart, they were watching you.
They probably were. They probably had some guy sitting behind me that was in not in uniform. All right, gentlemen, take it easy, and you guys got a great show.
Thanks,
right.
Louis.
Thanks. So based on what Louis was saying, that the sheriff is supposed to be there, not necessarily as a show of force, but as a voter, and to vote on decisions, and also a lot of questions come up during the course of the meetings that involve the sheriff's office or impact it, and the sheriff should be there to answer those questions, or at least to undersheriff, somebody that has some knowledge of what's going on. As far as the two deputies, they're probably there for either bodyguards or safekeeping.
Let me say real quick, one of my pet peeves is this thing called CI, confidential informant. And basically what it is the cops nab somebody, they give them this choice they can make. Either we're going to prosecute you or you can rat on people. You can go back into the drug world as a user, as a dealer, as a whatever you want to be. You make your money, you do your drugs, you cause the harm to your family, to everybody. But if you turn us in a few names, and we got a quota for here, I want 7 or 8 a month. And if there's not food on my plate, we're going to come back after you. So this guy now that was busted for drugs is back in the drug world, but is a James Bond for the Nye County Sheriff's Office. And if he don't produce for the cops, they'll nail him. If the druggies find out, they're going to whack him. What kind of deal is this? What kind of BS is this? And God help me, if I hear of one more case, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but whoever the cop is that is pulling this crap, I'm going to have them in front of the feds. I'll find a way, I guarantee you.
That's not, that's like,
I will, buddy.
but no, I mean, the thing is, what are the feds going to do?
Well, that's true.
Sorry to
Yeah,
burst your bubble, but.
I keep thinking there's somebody in a white horse other than us, but there isn't.
Oh, there is. It's called one of
us.
the four horses of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. Okay, Gary, I'm done ranting. What do you got?
Okay, look, why don't these guys get together with some people of civilians, okay, of taxpayers. Watch over the township where they're doing different things wrong, where there's some kind of strength with the 12 people, taxpayers, to investigate different people in this township and fight ever what's wrong from the police department to the politicians. It'd be like the big cities with the police department where they have the civilians watching over the police department.
Okay.
Well, I don't see it happening in the big cities. I think we actually know more of the corruption in Nye County than anybody in Vegas knows as far as the public.
Yeah, but I'm talking about power of the taxpayers where they're representing, okay, the taxpayers in this township.
Yeah, it's amazing because that's what government's supposed to do, represent us.
Well, see,
Go ahead.
Yeah, but you get civilians there and make up a board on the private end of it, and when something's wrong in the township, these 12 people go out in the district, okay, with issues and answers and knocking on doors, whether you get the people down to town hall, and these 12 people represent the township as taxpayers.
Well, then you get another layer of government.
Right.
They don't have no official authority, but they can fight where if they organize.
Well, here's the problem, Gary, is that we have representative government here in the United States, so-called. And the problem with representative government is that people elect someone, and that person is in their district, their territory, their state, whatever. But just say it was the county commission. The people in certain neighborhoods in sections of Pahrump, we elect our representative to be in the county commission. Okay, and then and then say it was congressman, same thing. So we vote them in, and then we turn around and we walk away. You don't just wind them up and let them go. Those people are responsive to us if we make them responsive. If they think, oh, I'm voted in now, I've got 4 years to do whatever I want, they will. And so if you got to stay on them like a cheap suit and pressure, not in a bad way, but just say, hey, Mr. Shinovan, well, we've been watching what you're doing here and we don't like it. And if Dan will just say, oh, well, I do what I think is right, but he gets more pressure, and all of a sudden maybe he starts to listen. Or if he doesn't, you vote him out, and the next person that replaces Dan says, gee, I saw Dan get the boot because he didn't listen to the constituents, and therefore I'm going to start listening, and I am going to be responsive. But the problem is that people don't insert themselves enough. Yeah, you get the people, a handful of people like to go down to the commission chamber, and I don't like going down there because a lot of people, I get really frustrated listening to stupidity, and some people, they go down there and all they do is just basically regurgitate foolishness that they've heard from other fools, and I just can't hear. Why can't anybody have just some common sense or say something intelligent when they get up there to complain about certain things to the county commission? And so again, it's usually a handful of people that do all the same complaining and moaning. More people need to actually take time off work if you can. Take time off of school. Go to the commission meetings and make yourself known. And you can go in and speak freely and openly. It's an open mic for a while. So use it. But again, you always win. It's like a handful of people they're like, you put a Mr. Microphone in their hand and you can't shut them up. They actually do a disservice to the program because they don't say anything positive. They just want to get up there and they want to have a bitch session. It's got to be people with complaints or with positive thoughts to come in and share those, and also pressure their commissioners at the same time. And at the same time, in a different level on the state with your assemblymen and senators, and then with the federal system with the congressmen and senators. But they are responsive if we make them responsive. But people have neglected that duty, and that's how you get these people that Maxine Waters and Harry Reid's and other scum like that.
Well, I say this. You're going to have a watchdog watching a dog, okay? And that's what it amounts to. And I still say you have 12 people in districts and start a new frame where they're representing the people, that they fight ever what's wrong, ever what's happening in the township.
Okay, Gary, thanks. We got to cut you short.
Set up a new board on the private end of it, of the taxpayer. They can fight and make it bigger and bigger.
Okay, Gary, we got to go.
And everything else is wrong. It goes along too long.
Bon voyage.
Okay, Gary, you're cut off. No more for you. Last call.
Call next time.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, though? We're saying we need another layer of government to represent the people, to watch the government that's supposed to be watching the people.
Right.
And we can't go to the feds, who are supposed to be watching the government, because the feds are corrupt.
Yeah, ever heard of James Comey and
it goes back to this book.
Exactly.
We've been going through this process for 100 years, and no one's figured out that, like you said, it's got to be the people. It can't be a committee we elect. The people got to say, we've had it. We've had enough. And en masse, we've got to start saying, no more of this diversion into racial topics, into all these other topics that we're led down the road to, so that we fight each other. We got to realize they're the enemy.
That's right. And you know, if anything, if any of you are movie buffs and like old movies, watch the movie Network. If you haven't watched it, see it, and see it a bunch of times. And Brazil. Okay, just if you watch those two movies, it puts a lot of what we are having, problems we're having now, in perspective, and the insanity of government, and blame everything on terrorists and blame everything on these unknown enemies. And the terrorists aren't blowing buildings up; the government's doing. At least in the movie Brazil, that's what it showed. They were doing. The government was blowing it up and then blowing up buildings and killing people and blaming it on terrorists to keep people scared. It's because at that time it's in the history. In
Sean
the future.
Connery?
No.
Or Gregory Peck? Who was in that? Brazil.
Brazil, it was Michael Palin. I'm sorry, Michael Palin? Yeah, Michael Palin was in it.
That's Monty Python.
No, but he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Okay. He was the surgeon that used to torture people. All kinds of famous people. There was a name I can't remember right now.
Okay, I put him on the spot. We're getting to the break time, so thanks for watching, and we'll be back next month.
Yep.
Okay.
Take care.
Hey, Ace Country listeners, you can now catch Ace Country Radio on KPVM-TV, channel 46.7. Catch me, Fitz, F-I-T with a Z, in my radio show on the TV. Send your livestock, your pigs, your cows, your donkeys, whatever it is, your favorite pet videos or photo to mobileburn@gmail.com. That's mobileburn@gmail.com. We're going to upload the videos and play them on the TV. Wait. Yes, I said on TV. That's right, you and your animals. Getting all famous and stuff. Send Ace Country those funny videos of the creature around the farm or the house. You could win a date with me, Fitz, on the air. Actually, you could actually win a pair of concert tickets for the best entry, because I'm a married man. Happily married man. I got a bunch of babies and I got a bunch of animals. So I might be sending my videos too. It's an all call, y'all. Get out the camera, shoot some videos, or take a photo of those creatures and those animals. There is not a time limit.